So the recording has now started, and tonight we're going to be focusing on MOOCs, massive open online courses. The first thing I want to do is look at the Canvas platform at this note regarding MOOC-related assignments. So TESOL students shall complete a MOOC project and a MOOC essay. TESOL diploma students shall complete a MOOC essay, a MOOC project, and a final research paper or essay for the TESOL course. Postgraduate students, PGD students, shall complete a MOOC essay, a MOOC project, and a final research paper. The advanced certification students do not need to complete a MOOC project. Instead, they must complete a MOOC essay and a final research paper or essay. The foundation certification students do not need to complete a MOOC project or essay, but they must complete a final research paper or essay. So if you are advanced, then you'll be doing a MOOC essay and a final research paper. If you're diploma or PGD, then you'll be doing a MOOC essay, a MOOC project, and a final research paper. Tonight, we're going to be focusing on the MOOC essay, and I'll be talking a little bit about the MOOC project.
Sir, may I ask a question?
Yes.
So I am a foundation student. So do I have to take this class for MOOC essay or not?
Well, you don't need to do a MOOC project or a MOOC essay, Bushra, but you might be interested to hear what is said about these MOOC courses, because you are going to be involved in MOOC courses when you're dealing with online education in the future.
All right, sir. It will be beneficial for me, but
I think it will be beneficial for you. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. All right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So this information is in the modules, and it's inside under modules, it's inside the TESOL MOOC project. So that's where you can go to just clarify that for yourself a little bit later. So it's the modules down past the midterm exam. It's after the grammar lesson plans. It's after the 4 skills-based lesson plans. Here's the TESOL MOOC study and the TESOL module. So it's inside this area that you're going to find that information that I just read to you. So we're going to talk about the MOOC essay to begin with. There are many ways to explore MOOC and write about online methodologies and technologies used in classrooms or online. Since the rise of mobile devices and smartphones, social media learnings are facilitated by new mobile apps, and the usages have grown exponentially. This increase of new educational forms, both from a pedagogical and a technical point of view, has resulted in a quest for new learning methodologies and frameworks. Students always seek new learning approaches through social media or new MOOC learning platforms. People learn in their classes, on the bus or in a train, or even at home using adaptable devices such as mobile phones, iPad, PC, or laptops. Canadian Via Rail has Wi-Fi in their business sector. Most flights provide Wi-Fi, and passengers use their travel time watching the news and movies or follow their online courses. Online technology has revolutionized the information transfer from business to schools, and particularly in online education. So the MOOC essay that you are asked to write is a short 5 to 6 page of research that should identify various methods and technologies used in MOOCs. You should discuss the advantages and disadvantages of MOOCs compared to traditional classrooms. covering different levels, broadcasting to many geographical locations, and more. For this assignment, you may use online MOOC resources. Samples of such scholarly research can be found on this link. You can go through these links to help get some research material for this essay that you're writing. And you can do searches in Google itself. The purpose of this study that you do shall be determining the effect that usage of computer in the classroom has on students' grades, motivation, attitude, and attendance. Compare such effects with online classes, advantages or disadvantages. For technology to be efficient and make changes in students' grades, motivation, attitude, and attendance, schools must be prepared for utilization of technology in their classrooms. Leaders must develop a model of implementation that includes a shared vision among teachers and directors and would include entire school community involvement. They must also offer consistent and accurate training for staff, the full-time technology director, and time for the staff to communicate and share new curriculum with peers. In the attached MOOC files that are down below here, these files down below, you have a large list of resources. You may select 5 or 6 of those resources and write about their general views. There isn't one direction and one research answer on this topic. The subject is very flexible, and as long as it relates to MOOC, you may write about any aspect of online education. To better demonstrate the expectation of the MOOC study section, I have attached a sample on MOOC research. So there are several MOOC. There's a Spanish MOOC paper, an Arabic MOOC research paper, a Chinese MOOC research paper, a MOOC research paper by itself, and another assignment 2 research document here. This is actually my research paper, my final paper for the course. And I'm not quite sure why it's here on the MOOC page, the MOOC module, because this is my choice for the final research paper that I wrote about, and it was to compare. It was talk about English as a second language in Canada, and the LINK program, which it stands for learning. What does that stand for? It's teaching English to new immigrants to Canada. So I'm not quite sure why my paper was included in this spot. I really don't talk about MOOCs specifically. I talk a little bit about online education, but anyway, it is there. So don't be looking at this paper. Don't be looking at my paper to help you out with the MOOC specifically, because it's actually on a different topic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to another folder in my desktop here. I'm just looking for something else that I wanted to show you, if I can find it. Here we go. Here is my actual MOOC essay. This is my MOOC paper. So the way I organized it was to give it a general opening. With any advancements for humanity comes change. This is a difficult commodity for many people to embrace. As creatures of habit, we become acclimatized to comfort zones and are often reluctant to branch out in new directions. Adaptability to change, however, is the very factor that has allowed humanity, along with other species, to survive. In the field of education, the same concept holds true for teachers and students alike. We must endorse the use of technology as a medium for teaching online. During recent years, this was becoming an ever more prevalent trend globally, but has now become a factor of absolute relevant necessity since the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic in the early months of 2020. Although valiant attempts are being made in most countries to reopen schools and bring teaching back into a real physical environment, the truth of the matter is that online learning will become a much more frequent delivery method in the future. Perhaps it will even be the most dominant method rather than in-class instruction. Only time will tell as this coronavirus pathogen plays out its role in shaping the future of our lives. Now remember, I wrote this in October of 2020. So in October of 2020, schools were still shut down, restrictions were still in place, and reopenings had not really started to occur yet. So just keep the timing in mind, that's important. Then I had a section discussing methodologies and technologies that are used in MOOC education. So be sure to include a section about that. And I talked about XMOOCs being examples being TEDx and edX. Those are examples of XMOOCs. And I talked about graphic novels, which are how-to videos to improve knowledge retention. And so you have to research these different things. Then I talked about the MOOCs that I investigated. I looked at Udemy, Coursera, and there is this is a link to a MOOC in Australia, Education Authority of Australia, as this MOOC site, which is the Box Hill Academy in Australia. And I could not get that to open. I couldn't get that link to work for me. So if you get that link in an email from TESOL and it won't open for you, don't be surprised. There's some problem with the link. Maybe it depends on the country you're in. Maybe I can't open it here in Canada because it's in Australia. I'm not sure. That happens sometimes. And then I talked about another course that I took online called Contemporary Approaches for University Teaching. That was also taught through Canvas. I took that early in the pandemic, and I completed that course and got that accreditation as well. I spoke a little bit about my experience of teaching online, teaching the university courses that I had taught previously online, and my experience with the platforms of Moodle and Google Drive platforms. I also used Google Classroom a few times to teach online. Then I did a little bit of an in-depth review of some MOOC platforms, Udacity, edX, Class2Go, Coursera. I talked about them. And I also talked about a little bit more generally about those four MOOC platforms as reviewed by a writer by the name of Paul Stacey. Now, Paul Stacey, I've got him listed in my bibliography down here at the end. His article was very well written. And he's right here. Here's the link to his article. I'm going to stop sharing right now so that I can access the chat box. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to copy this link and put it in the chat box for you so that you can go and read this article by Paul Stacey, because it's a very good article on MOOCs There you go. So you can copy that link and paste it onto your desktop or wherever you put those things. And you can get some in-depth information from him as well. So you need to do a thorough job of this MOOC paper. And one of the key things that you're supposed to do is to compare the online advantage and the online disadvantages with in-class advantage and in-class disadvantages of different aspects of education. So I created a chart because I was able to say a lot of information in this chart that would have, if I had written this out as sentences and paragraphs, I would have ended up with a lot of extra pages and it would have been too long. My essay would have been too long. So I came up with this whole list of all these items down the left-hand side here, all these aspects of education, and then I just filled in point form in the boxes going across related to advantages for online, disadvantage for online, the advantages for in-class and disadvantages for in-class. So you might want to consider doing some kind of a chart thing such as this to help you organize a lot of information into a small space. So that was my MOOC essay. That was my MOOC paper. And of course, remember to put a bibliography at the end of it. And I talk about the summary table right here, and I refer to it as Appendix 2, which I just showed you down a little bit further. So, do you have any questions about my paper, ladies?
No, sir, I'm finding it very interesting and very extensive. And I have a question that when you submit that paper, you were also doing TESOL or you were uh, a teacher already over there?
Well, I've been teaching for half a century, so I had already been teaching for many, many years when I wrote this paper a couple of years ago. And I had been teaching university courses online as well as in classroom for several years. So I had the experience already of teaching, not actually teaching MOOCs, but of teaching on online university courses and teaching privately online. So I did have the teaching experience when I was writing this in October of 2020.
So I'm finding it very detailed and extensive writing of yours, and I'm really impressed.
Well, thank you, but it's important to make it extensive like this to cover all the points that you're asked to cover in the TESOL assignment on the Canvas platform. So does that help, Selena, with to prepare you for writing this MOOC essay?
Yes, definitely. First of all, it looks very interesting. I think you did an amazing job there. Um, Definitely, I think we should, I guess, follow that format. It's amazing. I was just looking in the Canvas platform. Would it be possible to see the format? I'm trying to find if it's for a specific format we should follow, but I'm not sure where to find it, or it was something you did on your own, like you created your own format.
The format of my paper,
Mhm.
I just sort of created it by myself.
Mhm.
So the way I organized it was just a general introduction. And then I just put these headings in, and I just created the headings to cover off all the items that they wanted to be covered.
Mm. I
So
see.
I just took the Canvas platform information and I just picked out the different items they wanted. They wanted us to talk about methodologies and frameworks. They wanted
Mhm.
us to talk about different items and compare advantages and disadvantages. So that was my chart.
I see.
So if you would like me, Selena, I'd be happy to email you my MOOC essay so that you can have
I
a
would love
closer
to
look
read
at it.
it. Yes, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I'll do that after the class is over.
Thank you.
And because they don't really give a format for how they want it organized,
Mhm.
but I think the organization of my paper was a logical organization,
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
and I think it flows easily from one section to the next. So I will do that, and I'll share that paper with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Any other questions about this MOOC essay?
No, for now.
You're okay for now, Selena?
Yes, I think so. It's I need to get familiar with the information that is required in order to work on it. Is in terms of the time. eh, So when are we? When is the due date for this essay? I'm just trying to.
Well, the conversation activities, that due date was 2 days ago, the 27th of November.
Yes.
December 4th is the MOOC essay and the MOOC project.
So.
And December 12th is the 4 skills lesson plan assignment.
Oh, okay. I thought the 4 skills due date was this weekend. So it's
Well, what I'm looking at is the November, December schedule that Dr. Valley sent to me. So that's all I have to go on.
okay. So then, so only a few days to work on this. Okay, I'll try my best.
So to help you with an understanding of the Selena, an understanding of everything MOOC related, in modules, go down to this MOOC, the MOOC section,
Mhm.
and you get a thorough introduction to the e-learning design and courses delivery system that they've got compiled here.
Mhm.
It's a brief yet practical view of what's available in online learning today and what will be available in the near future. Through Business 300, B300 course, that's another course offered on Canvas.
Mhm.
They looked at the evolution of online teaching and online learning. We studied the available platforms and practice one or two of these systems to get hands-on experience on online course design. We also portray from some of the world's most famous schools and professors the future image of online education. Now that you had an introduction to MOOCs, this lecture is to provide by MOOC delivery system. Following is the introduction and guide in how to access your course. So the introduction to e-learning explores the process that designers undertake when making decisions that ensure that essential elements of the program are included. This chapter looks at the popular models used for the design process from the planning stage through to the evaluation stage and examines online strategies that can engage students in a learning experience that is based on pedagogically sound theory. This course is a development of Box Hill Institute and is available as a MOOC course. So one of the things that you might want to do is to go through these links, go into these links that are offered by Thinkific. Thinkific is a very good platform for designing and offering courses on, whether you think of the course as a course that's being delivered to groups of 20 or 30 people, or whether you think of it as a MOOC being delivered to thousands of people. Thinkific is a good platform as an alternative to YouTube, for instance. But Thinkific is very good. And so I would definitely have a look at these resources and glean as much information from these resources as you can to help you putting together your MOOC essay.
Thank you. Yes, I will. Mm-hmm.
There's also, things like this action mapping diagram that indicates the best way to design a course that you're delivering or a unit that you're delivering in the curriculum. And these points, these apply to whether it's a MOOC course or whether it's a lesson that you're just preparing for a class, an in-person class of 25 students. These approach points are still very appropriate. So, many people get thrown off by the idea of a MOOC being something that's really huge. Well, don't get thrown off by that. Just create and design something that could be delivered to a group of 20 or 30 people, and then it simply gets offered to many more people, and it becomes a MOOC. And then this goes on to talk about action mapping in a scenario-based teaching. So these are examples: conversation activities or 4 skills lesson plans. And it goes on to explain what is action mapping. Well, action mapping is comprised of 4 nodes. Firstly, there's a measurable goal. Second, the job behavior or action that will reach the goal. These are the enabling objectives. Then the realistic practice activity for that behavior. Practical teaching to reach practical learning results. The essential information for that activity. So when you're designing the lesson plan, keep only essential information in your lesson, because it's easy to get too much information in a lesson, and it distracts the students and takes them off course for what the real goal of the lesson is. I'm sure if you have teaching experience, you know that can happen quite easily. I had that happen many times when I was teaching in a classroom. If I wasn't careful, a student could ask a question and we could end up veering off in another direction that would take us away from the main point of the lesson for the day. So you do have to be careful with those things and keep the information just to the essential information. So for sure, go through this TESOL module and see everything that they've got here about MOOCs to help you with designing your essay and your MOOC project. So, Selena, which program are you in? Are you in advanced or diploma?
Advanced.
Okay, so you do need to do a MOOC essay and a MOOC project.
I do. Okay.
Yeah, I was just looking for that spot again. And you'll have all this on your Canvas platform as well.
Yes, I do.
So
Mm-hmm.
let me just see if I can find that spot again quickly here. It's difficult to keep track of what information is in what section.
Yes. MOOC Essay.
I'm pretty sure a few minutes ago I read that the advanced have to do a MOOC project and a MOOC essay.
Yes, I think I don't remember where it was. Maybe in the introduction, I think. I don't know. I'm also trying to find it, but I can't.
No, I don't think it's there. Of course, now I can't find it.
It's okay. So maybe I can find it later.
Sure, that's fine. But
Mhm.
you should spend some time going through all these different aspects of the MOOC and TESOL,
Mhm.
the modules and everything here.
Sure.
There's
Yes.
very good information here.
Yes, I can see that.
And this will help you to design what you were describing that your school wants to do to organize these online programs. So there's a lot of material here that you can use for to help you build your school program as well. I'm not going to read the entire thing for you because you can read it on your own. So
Sure, no problem. I can go through that later.
sure.
My only concern is if this is due for this weekend, I don't think it's possible. So definitely, it's only 4 days pretty much to complete this.
I understand that. And because this is a self-paced, self-study course, if you're not able to submit an assignment by the exact deadline date that or the due date that is listed, that's not serious.
Mhm.
So if you're not able to submit the MOOC essay and the MOOC project until a couple of weeks from now, that really doesn't matter. That doesn't affect anything. There's no negative impact there.
Mhm. Yes, I will try my best, but being realistic, I think it's very difficult. I'm working 6 days a week and full day, so it is not viable, definitely. But
No, I agree with you. Don't try to do it in 4 days.
I don't want to sacrifice quality just to come up with something that is not to
That's right.
something I
That's
feel comfortable, really.
that's right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I did want to mention that this Sakai platform talks about Sakai. It's not really needed. You don't need to spend time on this as TESOL students. This is put in here as required study for postgraduate diploma (PGD) students
Hmm.
in education. So don't spend time on the Sakai right now. I mean, you can always come back to it later and have a look at it,
Sure.
but it's not something that's required for you. So I would like to mention that so that you can kind of skip over it. And then there are international MOOCs. This is where you can easily find the names of many different MOOC platforms that you can go to and have a look at.
Hmm.
And there's even a link here about teaching on Thinkific, teaching short courses,
Hmm.
and teaching on Udemy. So you can go through those links and have a look at those courses on your own time. So anyway, I just wanted to do a quick scan through that for you.
Thank you. No, that's definitely amazing. Very good information there. Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is a presentation by Alham Masagi about preparing PowerPoints for online classes. Do you use PowerPoints in your classrooms?
No, I don't.
Have you prepared PowerPoints before?
Many years ago, but I don't do PowerPoints anymore.
May I ask why you do not use PowerPoints?
Because we have a very interactive digital textbooks, so we use a platform and everything is interactive. All the exercises, videos, we have audios, we have everything we need.
Okay,
Mhm.
and that's fine. That makes sense. I understand that. But with PowerPoint presentations, you can cover a lot of material in a very efficient manner.
Mhm.
And I was going to ask you if you had if you know how to add voiceover recording on a PowerPoint.
Mm, I believe. No, I haven't tried it yet. I know it can be done, but I haven't tried.
Would you like me to show you how it can be done?
Yes, please.
So when you have a PowerPoint presentation, and can you see the little star here under the number 2
Yes.
and the little star under number 3?
Mhm.
That little star tells me that there is a recorded message on that slide. So I'm just going to begin this as a slideshow and let you hear the recorded message. There's no recording on this slide.
Mhm.
And now the PowerPoint is recording what you're saying. So you can describe how you open up a PowerPoint presentation. You go to the recording tab across the menu bar on the top of the screen, and then you can choose to record from the current slide. You can say whatever you need to say for that slide, and then be able to see the countdown of the numbers on the slide. So this PowerPoint presentation that I'm sharing there with you, Selena, this is just one that this is where I show people how to do the recording.
That's amazing because that can you right there can include the audio or comments or something related to the topic. That's amazing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a blank slide here.
Yes.
So what you do is you go to the menu bar across the top here,
Mm-hmm.
and you click on record. And then you click on current slide, because it's this slide right here that we've got highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're not able to see the, oh, I just got a message that this isn't going to work because my webcam is not set up to record.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't want to let me do it.
It's okay. It's okay.
But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you do it.
No, that's amazing. Definitely, it could be a great benefit to include some slides. Maybe I use Google Slides mostly if I have to create a presentation. I I have used Google Slides pretty much, but no PowerPoint recently.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Well, apparently, and now I've locked myself out of my laptop screen. I've got something's blocking. I've messed up my laptop screen here. So
Oh.
anyway, that's okay. I'll figure it out after we end the recording here.
Mhm.
But do you have any other questions related to the MOOC essay?
No, there's a lot of information for me to review, definitely. I really will appreciate a little bit more time because I would like to do this properly. And unfortunately, in 2-3 days, it's something that I don't see possible, but I definitely, I want to do it as soon as possible. Mhm.
I agree with you that 2 or 3 days is too fast a time frame.
Yes. Um, And yes, because it's something that I especially am very interested. I agree with you. The introduction of your presentation was amazing because that's what is happening right now. Is I don't think it's going back, and it's still many people wants to attend in-person classes. Yes, that's definitely an option, but the future of education is definitely online. It's here to start to stay. No.
I totally agree with you. Yes, online education, online learning is not going away, and I don't think it's going to be reducing either. I think it'll be increasing.
Mm-hmm. On the contrary, I think it's important to promote the good work right online because there is a lot of misinformation after the pandemic with in some cases there were bad experiences and where sometimes people say no, online courses are not good, and that is not necessarily the truth. When it's done properly, it can be bring great benefits and flexibility and being able to achieve things that otherwise wouldn't be possible, like
I agree.
for instance right now I
Yes.
wouldn't be able to be here if it wasn't this way. Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with you. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly right. And these are good thoughts for you to keep in mind for when you're writing your essay too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and include points, information points such as this with your essay as well.
Yes. Um, I that this is definitely it has a special interest. I love technology. I think it's amazing all the things we can do with technology right now. And yes, I really
I,
want to do a good job here. So I don't think in 3 days I can do it, but I'll try my best to do it as soon as possible.
well, I understand what you're saying, and I would suggest don't pressure yourself because when you get into this MOOC essay, you're
Hmm.
going to want to spend a bit more time on it than 3 days.
Absolutely, yes. Hmm.
So I think we're going to end our session for tonight, Selena.
Sure, yes, that's fine.
I want to thank you for being on the call and for asking good questions and sharing your thoughts about this topic. That makes the interaction a lot more interesting for me as well. And so I'm going to end the recording now.
Hmm.